Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar, What's New with Sage Field Operations. My name is Leanne Leone, and I'm the Director of Partner Experience and Relationships with Sage. I will be your moderator today, so we will be taking questions digitally. If you do have a question, please put your question in the question box, and we'll do our best to answer those throughout or at the end of the presentation. So today's speakers will be Jay Anarelli and Kathy Sherman, who are from the Sage Field Operations Product and Engineering team. And just to go over the agenda, we will go over the Sage overview and some recent updates that I'll provide to you. And then we'll get into the meat of the presentation, Sage Field Operations updates, including mobile, residential, and business intelligence. So just as most of you in today's call are Sage customers, we do have some of you that are looking at Sage. You probably know that Sage has been in the construction software solution business for over 50 years. We have been your trusted advisor for over 50 years in the areas of pre-construction, finance, and operations. And as today, we'll be talking about solutions for operations specifically. So just to give you a few recent announcements, back in 2020, we launched our cloud construction product called Sage Intacct Construction, which is a full-featured construction financial product, multi-tenant and based in the cloud, built on the foundation that it's the only AICPA endorsed accounting platform. So we're very proud of that. The fact that we are the only endorsed accounting platform from AICPA. We did recently launch an Essentials bundle. So there are several companies that are looking for solutions, for example, QuickBooks customers. And this solution has been proven to be very popular with those customers who are they've outgrown their existing solution and looking for something more. And then another exciting bundle that we are working on is one that's relevant for you today, is our specialty contractor bundle. So we have a broad portfolio of products available, and we want to make sure that we can put those together and they work seamlessly for you, and that you can help to manage all of your employees can manage their jobs as efficiently as possible. So more news to come on the specialty contractor bundle. In addition, we recently launched an Sage Intacct real estate product. So we have many customers that have been using Sage 300 construction and real estate property management for a while. And we wanted to give them a path to the cloud with Sage Intacct real estate. So that was a great new announcement for us within the last year or so. Something really big and exciting for us back in the May timeframe, Sage acquired a company called Corcon. And we recently relaunched that product, Sage Construction Management, to cover things like bid management, documents, reviews, and change orders. So this is a comprehensive construction management product that you can integrate with your Sage Field Operations product and your financials to really have a complete solution. And then finally, a more recent acquisition, we closed this in January. We acquired the company Bridgetown Software and their Bid Matrix product. So this, coupled with our industry-leading Sage estimating product, really helps to round out that full estimating solution. This product, Bid Matrix, is really specifically designed for bid day and managing all the aspects around bid day. So just moving on, I wanted to let you know we couldn't do this without our partners. So Sage offers the largest and most trusted partner network in the industry. These partners, a lot of them have been with us since the beginning. They are there to help you along your journey of figuring out what are the best solutions to manage your business and to help you grow. And they've supported thousands of customers over the years. So we really rely on our partners. They're fantastic, and they work with you for everything that you need to build a great solution and to implement and support that solution. And then finally, just to show you the broad range of customers that we do serve, we have solutions for every area of construction. So from home builders, through general contractors, specialty that we're talking about today. So if you, anybody in construction that's looking for a solution, we have we have something for you. So just wanted to show you that we do serve the entire construction industry. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy Sherman to go through some more information on Sage Field Operations.
All right, I think, Leanne, you're actually going to pass it over to Jay. I think we had a switch.
I'm ready, Leanne, if you want to make me the presenter.
Jay, are you able to present your screen?
No, no. Let me know if you guys can see that. All right, sorry for that, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. So today I want to talk a little bit about what's new with Sage Field Operations. And as some of you are aware, we have this platform works with Sage 100 Contractor, Sage 300 CRE, and also Sage Intacct. As I go through this presentation, just be aware that not all of the functionality we're showing here is going to be available in every single platform. We are continuing to invest in all of the platforms, and I'll talk to that as we go through today's demo. But what we're really excited about is that we do have a brand new mobile application. This is our second mobile application. It has a new clean look. And we'll dive into that in a minute, and Kathy will be able to show you some of that functionality. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about solving for residential workflows. And really what that is doing is adding some more flexibility to our customers that provide residential services and maybe commercial services, and providing a more menu-based pricing offering. And we'll probably spend the most amount of time today on our business intelligence platform, which is now available to early adopters on both the Sage 300 CRE and the Sage Intacct platform, and it will be coming in the future to Sage 100 Contractor customers. And as we go through today's presentation, what we're really trying to help solve for is productivity in the field and the lack of skilled labor that's available. And a big part of our focus over the last year is we've been talking to a lot of our customers, trying to understand how can we really help them run their business more efficiently, right? How many billable hours on the server side do you have versus how many cost hours? So what's our utilization rate? How much work can I take on? How can we be more efficient with what we're doing? So we'll talk a little bit about that, especially as we dive into the business intelligence portion of that. We have a lot of great dashboards we're going to be able to show you. We're also, as we mentioned, we have a new mobile app available. Now, it's available today for Sage Intacct. It's also available today for Sage 100 Contractor, but only for construction job time entry and associated functionality. And it's coming soon for Sage 300 CRE customers. And just keep in mind, not all of the functionality is going to be available across all the platforms, but this is a mobile app that will work offline. We took a lot of time and effort, collect a lot of feedback from clients to come out with a new app that we believe meets the needs of the majority of our clients. And this will continue to evolve over time. But we're really excited about, we've been getting great feedback from our customers and prospects. All right, I'm just going to go through a few more slides here, and then we'll pass it off to Kathy, and she can show you a little bit of the mobile app. But as we talked about, in the beginning, a big part of our focus, we did have a little bit of a gap in our product, and we needed to come out with an enhanced residential offering. And this residential offering today is only available on Sage Intacct, but we're basically have the ability to have menu-based pricing, where you could go to a customer and let's say there was 3 different types of toilet seats, right? Let's say they wanted the regular toilet seat, the gold-plated toilet seat, and then the platinum-plated toilet seat. And you can say the regular toilet seat's $100, the gold-plated's $500, the platinum's $1,000. So it's a great way for your team to be able to sell value-based pricing to their customers at a flat fee without having to bill time and material hourly and present them with that. We've also, along with that, have rolled out a field payment processing solution. This is also currently there. We do have field payment processing for 100 and 300, but we have a new workflow that works well with Sage Intacct, available for Sage Intacct to process those payments in the field. And that could be on any work order. It doesn't just have to be a residential flat rate menu-based pricing work order. It's any type of work order that you need to collect payment in the field. And Kathy will walk through and show you some of that functionality. All right. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over. We're going to make Kathy the presenter, and she's going to show you the mobile app and take you through some of that flat rate pricing. And then right after that, we'll take a really deep dive into the BI solution with actual live data. All right. Now I'll hand it off to Kathy.
All right. Thanks, Jay. Let me know when you are seeing my screen okay.
You can see your screen. We can see both Yap and your background too.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Leanne. Welcome, everyone. As you can see right here on my screen, I have both the laptop version of Sage Field Operations, and I also have the mobile app that Jay described. So I'm excited to be able to show you a couple features here today. I know we have a limited time, so I will keep this high level, but you're used to seeing in the main screen the daily assignments page, and on the new app, this is what it would look like. I'm on my daily assignments page for today, Thursday, February 22nd. I see my daily total of hours that I have worked so far today. And then down below, you can see I start to see my work orders. Work order 3028 is grayed out. That means I've completed this one already. But I scroll down and I see I have work order 3246, and I have some very nice looking punch actions. If I wanted to start my travel to this specific Costco location, I can just punch in right from here. If I'm already nearby, I'm going to go ahead and start my work. I would punch in using these punch in and punch out buttons that you see here, the purple and the green. And if you were interested in seeing what that would look like with a construction job, this is what it would look like. Your job, my job is 03002, and job name is Clackamas, and I would use the travel start, work start, punch in and out, similar to the work order look right above here. Down in the corner, you can see this ellipsis. So if I click on that, a couple functions I can do right from here. If I'm an after hours technician and I need to create a work order, I can still do that from this screen right here, this bubble. Submitting my weekly timesheet can be done right there, as well as adding assignment time. So let me go ahead, let me come back to my Costco work order. You'll notice some new icons here in this. I'm kind of circling it here with my cursor. This arrow, I'm going to go ahead and click it. It is going to take me out to Google Maps. It is going to give me directions from where I'm at right now to St. Charles, Illinois, where this Costco is located. So it's the directions using Google Map. I could click that start, and Kathy Technician would have a very lucrative work order to be done. If this is T&M, it's a 15 hours travel. So we all want those, right? So coming back to the main screen, I am there. And now I want to get into, I'm going to call it the meat of the work order. That's what this eyeball is right here. From the site, before I drill down, this Costco is hyperlinked, so I can get to my service site history right from this main screen if I need to. I'm going to go ahead and click my eyeball. And now I'm into the meat of the work order. I still have the ability to click and get my service site history. I can see my description of what I'm doing. I can scroll down, see if this is tied to any pieces of equipment at this site, any notes, and so on and so forth to my assignment. What I want to call your attention to is this plus sign. I call it my breadcrumbs. So this is very intuitive for the technician to be able to just click on the plus sign. And from there, they see, I call them the bubbles. They see all of these bubbles, but it gives them a clear path as to how to maneuver around the app. So if I wanted to add parts, for example, I would click the Add Parts button. If I wanted to, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but add flat rate, this is what that button would look like on the mobile app. Let's go ahead and add notes. I can click on Add Notes, and I would have two options for my adding notes. I can select canned responses, which if you're using Sage Field Operations today, you're probably aware of what a canned response is. It's a pre-configured note that I can use the drop down and I can add automatically. I'm going to go ahead and click into this, and I'm going to click this icon down at the bottom, and I'm going to do some talk to text. This work order has been completed, period. And there you go. Our techs are loving this functionality. They don't have to fat finger. They could do that for the work performed notes as well as the office notes, and then they can complete that by submitting those notes there at the bottom. Last thing I'm going to show, I don't have too much time here today, but I'm going to go ahead and click that plus sign again. Notice the other functionality. If I needed to create a purchase order, if I needed to create a quote, maybe I saw something I could possibly earn additional revenue from, maybe something else that needs fixing, I need to create a quick quote, I can do that from that button. And then adding the attachment. Let's go ahead and take a quick photo here. Click Add Attachments. I'm going to go ahead and choose File. From here, I can either take a photo or I can choose from my existing camera roll or existing files. I'm just going to take a quick photo of my computer screen here real quick. Use my photo. And then I'm going to say demo here. And I will upload this attachment. So now it's uploading this attachment. I get the message, my attachment was uploaded successfully. I'm going to go ahead and refresh that. Once I refresh the page and I scroll all the way down to the bottom, sorry if I'm making anyone dizzy, there is my attachment there from the demo. All right, so now I'm going to move I was demoing this right now from an iPhone. I'm going to go ahead and move that over. And I will tell everyone, full disclosure, I was very excited. I'm on AT&T. And I know there was a major outage today, so I was really happy that I was able to present that. So that is good. Now, if I come back to the web version and I refresh this page, what I wanted to point out is how quickly this information comes back to anyone who is, working in the back office. So here is my picture of my computer screen I just took. If I come up to my notes, here are my notes. They're already here, entered by Kathy Tech. The work order has been completed. So it's literally real time, couple seconds, and the information is flowing back and forth from the Tech's mobile app to what I call the back office or the web-based product. All right, so now I'm going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little bit about flat rates. So Jay mentioned some toilets, I believe is what Jay mentioned earlier. I'm going to go ahead, let's say I'm adding a flat rate. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to add a motor. So when I start clicking in motors, maybe I want my frequently used motors. Maybe we tend to use a couple different motors here, and I'm going to search those. So now it's searching my flat rate database, and I'm going to go ahead and pick this induced draft motor, click next. And now here's where I'm adding this flat rate to my work order. And this is the level that Jay alluded to. I don't know if he said good, better, best, or gold, something gold and platinum. So you can have a regular level, a premium level, an agreement level, and you might have different rates for this motor, depending on, if it's during the work hours or after hours or service work or whatever. You can also tie it to a piece of equipment. I can add multiple flat rates, or I'm going to go ahead and add this flat rate. All right, so now I have my flat rate. I also have, I think that's all I have on here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a quick hour or two on here. And I'm going to go ahead and invoice this. So let's fast forward. Let's say the work is done. We're going to go ahead and invoice it. There are a couple ways to invoice. If I'm Kathy Tech and I'm allowed to create this invoice, I can do so here. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. And now it's going to bring me to my invoice screen. I'm going to go on the right-hand side where it says Invoice All. And I'm going to go over here and say, blue box, lower left, create my invoice. So now what this is doing, it's creating my AR invoice. And I will then use my payments in the field. And I am going to actually pay this invoice and show you what that looks like. So my invoice has been created. So if we have that technician who's out in the field, they do the work, they create that invoice. I now have in my attachments here my invoice report, and I'm going to go ahead and collect payment. On the far right hand side, I can scroll down and you can see where it says collect payment. Let me go ahead and say collect payment. From here, I would process my credit card. I'm going to use this terminal for now and send to my terminal. And my transaction was successful. I have accepted this transaction amount, which includes tax, and I'm going to go ahead and close this. So at this point, if I go, I could see that it noted my payment was successful. It creates a note of a payment transaction within this screen. And now I'm going to show you what this looks like in the accounts receivable module. I am in, this is Sage Intact, and I'm going to go ahead to the accounts receivable module. I'm going to go to invoices here. And you can see my Costco $557.32 noted that it was paid. Let's go ahead and view this. And here you can see that it has in fact been stamped paid, amount due 0, and that transaction, that credit card in the field has already been applied against my AR invoice. So it's a great transaction workflow for your technician who goes out and does that work, can invoice it on the spot, can collect the payment in the field, and have that complete that accounting transaction cycle back to your Intact or other processing. So at that point, Jay, I think I have completed my part of this demo. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and turn it back to you. Jay, are you able to now take the screen? I think if you're talking, you're on mute.
Jay, are you there?
Yeah, Jay, if you're talking, we cannot hear you. You want to look at that maybe. We see your screen okay, but you must be muted.
Okay, I think I unmuted you.
I was not able to unmute. I'm so sorry. I lost the slide deck. Hold on a second. All right, I'm going to jump right into the BI side of things, and walk you guys through kind of a little journey here of what we've been working on. And my apologies, I accidentally closed the slide deck and I can't find it. So over the last 9 to 12 months, we've realized that we need to provide additional visibility to our clients. And after talking with a lot of our clients, we realize it's a common theme with our clients. There's, as I mentioned earlier, there's not enough technicians that are qualified to perform all the work. And the way I like to like discuss this or to lay this out is, I like to relate a service organization, like a specialty trade contractor, to an attorney, right? You only have so many hours in a week that you can, a technician can work before they become exhausted, right? And they have burnout, just like an attorney. So the goal is to really maximize the productivity of that technician. And at the end of the day is how much money or how much profit can that technician generate in a given hour? Because that is meaningful for your bottom line. So what we're trying to do is provide our customers with the tools they need to do that, to understand, how do I adjust my business? How do we run our business for optimal performance so that we can make more money, right? And we can be profitable, we can pay our employees well, and we could grow the business. So I'm going to walk you through our business intelligence solution. We should probably come up with a better name for it, but I'm super excited. We already have about a dozen customers piloting this with real live data. What I'm going to show you today is the BI solution for Sage 300, but it's also available on Sage Intacct, and it's coming in the future. I don't have an exact date, but we do have plans to roll this out to Sage 100 Contractor also. Some of the functionality might be a little bit different depending on what platform you're on, but let me walk you through what we have today for Sage 300 and Sage Intacct. So as you can see, the business intelligence platform, it's embedded directly within the platform. I have different modules that I can view. So we have an operations module, which is kind of a high level module. I would say this is where the service manager would live. We also have a sales module. So for those customers that use our quote solution, we can see how many new opportunities do we have? What's the status of the quotes? Which salesperson is, and I'll walk you through that a little bit. Only for Sage 300, we do have some visibility to AR and AP, such as aging receivables, so forth and so on. Then we have a management module, which I'll dive into. And then we have some other, some of these we're still working on. So as I go through this demo, I'll try to talk to some of the things that we're expanding, but we're constantly evolving this based on the feedback of that dozen or so customers that are actively using the platform. All right, so I'm on the operations dashboard here. So once again, since I'm on the Operix service operations module, I have access to all of these different kind of views, right? And I'm on the operational dashboard. So at a high level, and let me just say, this is demo data. This is not the best data, but I think this should give you a sense. There's no new work orders today because I did not generate any new work orders in my demo data today. So there might be some zeros here and there. But the idea here is we're taking that information, that years and years of data that you have within your database, and we're providing it in an intuitive, thoughtful way. So high level, I can see how many new work orders we have versus last year, or I mean, new versus completed. I can see mean time to resolution. So what that means is from the moment we generate a new work order, how long does it take us to get to the complete status, right? Where the customer is happy. Also, I mentioned earlier, how much money are we generating per hour from our team, per person? That's per person profit per hour. And then mean time between failures. So we actually go pretty deep. So we look at the equipment, and we can look at and put together some estimates around, or some averages around, how long does it take between equipment failures? That's if you're tagging equipment to the work order. So we have some, so if I have an air conditioner, we're saying on average, we have to go out and fix the air conditioner once every 389 days. All right, let's go on to some other dashboards here, like work order activity. This is more another kind of high level one. I can see the number of work orders for a given date range. So this one, we get into some of the slicers and filters, right? So we call these slicers up top. So I can slice this data based off customer, center, call type, department. Very powerful. I can pick the metric I want to look at. I'm looking at the work order metric for right here, but I can do callbacks, PMs, so forth and so on. And then I can pick my dates. So I'm just looking at the first half of 2023. You can go into the future. We also have forecasting in this, which I'm going to show you in a moment. So I can look into the future, not just at a certain point in time. So it's really important because we're able to go beyond reporting. We're actually able to give you visibility into what we think your business will be doing in March or in April and May, so you can plan accordingly. And I'll give you some concrete examples around that. All right, let's go. I can see how many PMs are open, how many callbacks, how many labor hours were incurred. So in this sample data set, we had 39,000 cost hours of labor based on the filters. Then if I go into filters, just go quickly. So we can filter on department, on center, we can narrow it down to a specific customer, call type, maybe problem codes, maybe I only want to see my AC leaking water work orders, right? You can apply the filters. But this, for those of you that use the product today, this should all look very familiar. All right, so let's go ahead to, let's look at some other performance dashboard. This is kind of a little bit of a different view, but I can see the customers. I can see this would be like an AR customer. So maybe this is ABC Bakery has 100 locations. It'd be a roll up. I can see how many work orders they generated, how many they did the previous year. I get some visibility. Is that customer slowing down? Are they speeding up? Do we have an issue? This is kind of like the heartbeat of the customer, right? What's the throughput of the customer? How do we, how are we doing a response time to resolution? These are like KPI metrics that we believe are important for our customers, because if you can improve on these metrics, you have delighted customers and you can add to your bottom line and grow your revenues. Once again, this can all be filtered with those filters and different slicers, so forth and so on. All right, let's look at technician profitability. I love this one. Once again, I'm going to look at gross profit, but you could look at profit per hour. You can pick what metrics you want to look at. You can say, show me what Johnny does for McDonald's. You can narrow it down to a specific customer or with these filters and so forth and so on. But I'm just looking at a specific date range. And right now I'm seeing, where's that sale amount in orange and in teal here, or bluish color? What was the cost? But if I wanted to go down, I could look at, let's see, I could look at this Bob guy, right? Bob had 654 hours. He worked on 117 work orders. This is what he generated. But if I click on Bob, watch what happens to the chart up top, right? As I click on Bob, I now have visibility into how he's doing and what his work order profitability is. And then if I go to this Bobby guy, it changes, right? So it updates, and this guy isn't doing that well. But anyways, it's all about how good the data is getting into your system, and that's relates back to how Kathy showed how we're trying to make things as simple as possible for the technician to get good data into your system so you can have reports that work really well for you. All right, so let's go look at a few other things. So we can look at customer work order profitability. I think this is a good report here. So for those of you that are Excel gurus, you could filter by customer, but if I wanted to understand the profitability of customers, this is really helpful. Let me go off this page a little bit here. But you can, filter by customer, date range, call type, all that fun stuff. But if I scroll to the right, we're providing you with cost, estimated cost, total costs, profitability, how much effort or hours, earned revenue, invoice to date, how much did we invoice to date. But you're actually we actually give you in a lot of our views here, right? I can go, I drilled in here, but I have the ability to go ahead and export this data, right, to Excel. So if you are really strong with pivot tables and you want to really slice and dice the data, we allow you to do that. Let's go over to work order profitability too. This is another kind of view. You can also dive into this data over here. You can filter by customer, so forth and so on. All right, let's go look at, did I do equipment? I think so. So equipment analysis, that's a lot. Now this is only going to be beneficial if you're actually tagging work orders to equipment within the system, right? So yeah, why don't we make this, see, this is beta, so this is why I don't need to export. But I can see mean time to resolution. I can see how that trends over time. If I change this, I can go further in the future, but my data might not be good. Yeah, well, there's still some data there. Mean cost, like what's the average cost per work order based on the filters here? And if I want to change the filters, I can narrow it down to a particular type of equipment or to a particular problem code or a customer. So it's really powerful. lots of flexibility. I can narrow it down by install date or by warranty end date or by when we replace the equipment. All right, let's go over to the sales module. So I don't know, well, a lot of our customers use our quote functionality. And we realized we were lacking some visibility there, especially for the sales manager to manage the team. But now we have the ability to see what conversion rates are on quotes and on the amounts and the mean time for the team. But once again, you can go in here, you can filter, and you can say, I want to dial, I don't know who's a salesperson here, but I want to dial into a specific salesperson. I want to see their performance. So we can do that here. I can also go into quote activity. So I can see, who's generating the most quotes and what's the latest and greatest. And once again, it's all filtered by time here. Let's go to performance dashboard. I'm not as familiar with these ones. Yeah, I can see this is more of a throughput type report, like how are we doing, how are we trending. Open quotes. Yeah, so I can see, so these are open quotes, so I can see what's submitted versus what's in progress. So 59 quotes in progress means it's 59 quotes that we know about, but we haven't yet officially sent to the customer, right? So it's just great data. So if you're slowing down in February or March, right, because it's a warmer winter, we're giving you the visibility you need to go in and drum up some work, right? Let's find out what's sitting around in our quote system that we can follow up on and we can go try to close. And then we have one quotes. Let's see what's that. What's conversion analysis? I haven't been on this one. And then we can see our conversion analysis. Once again, you have all these different metrics that you can filters and slicers that you can filter by to really dial into the data. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at. I'm trying to be conscious of time too, because we only got 5 minutes left. Let's look at the management module. I think this has some forecasting built into it. And I talked earlier about labor productivity and how we're trying to do more with less. But this is more a holistic view at a macro economical level where I can see, revenue invoice. Now, I'm going to apologize. My demo data stops in August, so it's a little envision there's actually some sales here. But I can also see what my prior year sales were. And I have, these are all zeroed out because this is just demo data and I haven't created any manual invoices or new sites and so forth the last couple of days. But let's go into utilization. So when we talk about utilization, we're talking about labor, quantity of hours, right? Or how effective is our team? So I can look at the total hours worked. I can look at our utilization rate. So utilization rate, we're hovering around 93, 89% 1 month. But that's really what percentage of my hours are actually billed in creating revenue for our business, right? So if I have a technician, they work 2,000 hours a year, but they only bill out 1,800 hours. So this is a really good metric for a CFO or a service manager to really make sure that we're being as efficient as possible. Now, you never want to have 100% utilization, right? Because you need time for training your technicians. It may, the utilization rate might be different for a residential contractor than it is for a commercial contractor, or an electrical contractor might be different than an HVAC contractor, right? But this will allow you to see the trends over time. If I want to go further back in time, let's go, I can go way back in time, right? And I can see what those trends look like. And it just updated that, right? So I can see, hey, back in July of 22, we only had an 86% utilization rate, right? That's not good, right? And I can compare it to the previous year. We really need to be at 90, 91, 92%. And you can set your target rate to help, drive these reports. And once again, you can filter by all the usual fields that you thought about before. Let's go into labor forecasting, because this is not ready for prime time, but I want to let people know what's coming. So what we're doing is we're looking at some historical data. We're also looking at what's been scheduled on your dispatch board. So if you are the type of company that actually schedules out work in advance and doesn't just roll out all of your assignments day to day, this will be a really valuable tool. And this also is going to look at both construction projects and service work order projects. So if you do construction work and service work, we're going to be able to tell you what your capacity is and, you know, how are you trending. So do I need to hire more people in a couple of months? So let me go ahead and change some of the dates here. Let me see what I can do. We go to like May 30. This might not show anything. Yeah, it doesn't show a whole lot, but it's showing me a little bit that this data isn't accurate because I'm missing a bunch of data. But in this kind of orangish color here, it's forecasting how many hours of effort or how many labor hours do we need to handle the work on hand, right? Or the projected work on hand. And maybe, you know, last year we were averaging 22,000 hours a month. Maybe this year it says that we're going to be, you know, looking ahead based on all the PM agreements we signed and all the work we have scheduled. Maybe it says we have 35,000 hours a month. And that's a red light, right? Because now I need to know, I need to go hire some customers. I mean, I need to go hire some employees, or maybe I got to fire some customers, right? When I say fire customers, this is a great tool to go in and figure out which customers are not profitable, right? And how do we, you know, get rid of the non-profitable customers that are impacting how much money we can make per hour of labor. And then let's go to just a regular forecasting. So this is, and I'm going to go into the future with this one. So this is really revenue, some more high-level macro forecasting, and we're able to, and this is not accurate, but this takes a little bit different approach where we're looking at historical averages. We're looking at I forget what the averages are, but like the 90-day average of new work orders versus like and I'm making some of this up just to give you the idea of it, but how are we trending with the 90-day rolling average of new work orders generated versus the average revenue per ticket. Once again, you can filter this by department. So show me the electrical team versus the plumbing team, but this also can build confidence in where are you going as a company? Are your revenues dipping? Are they going up? And it helps you plan accordingly. And if there's a big spike or a big dip, then you can go dive into the data and try to figure out, hey, why is that happening and how do I adapt my business so I'm not caught off guard? So the idea here, a lot of what we're doing with products is our product team is we're meeting with customers and we're trying to help our customers see into the future so they can make business decisions that benefit the company before it's too late. You don't want to get into the middle of summer if you're an HVAC contractor and realize you have twice the amount of work and not enough people to do the work, right? We're trying to give you those tools based on the feedback from our customers to have happy customers and add to your bottom line. So with that said, I'm up on my 45-minute mark, but if there are any, Leanne, I'll kick it back to you if there's any questions or comments.
Yes, we do have a couple questions. So is there a suspend feature for time entry?
Yes, there is. Yeah, so basically, if you don't complete, so there's a work order, and then a work order can have an assignment, and there can be multiple assignments, but an individual assignment at the end of the day is that activity, it's not done, you suspend it, and then it'll automatically show up the next day for that technician to restart that work order.
Great, thank you. What point of sale program is utilized for credit card processing? Is it completely integrated within Sage? If so, how do technicians collect card payments, readers, manual entry, etc.?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I'd say, you know, if that's an existing client, reach out. Well, either way, reach out to Kathy or myself, or, you know, we'll circle back with you because I think we have we know who that's from, Leanne. So on the Sage 100 and Sage 300 platforms, the actual provider in the background is we have Paya, and then we have Square. Those integrations there's certain flavors and limitations to all the different providers we work with, so we can meet with you to go over that. For Sage Intacct, we use the back-end providers Fortis. We work with who has the ability to post directly to the AR, as Kathy showed you, in a seamless way for Sage Intacct. All right.
Great, thank you. There were some questions about receiving a copy of the recording. And so for everyone on the line today, you will receive an email after this event with a link to the recording. And that's it for questions, Jay.
All right, thanks everyone for your time. Yeah, just to recap, if you have any questions, you can reach out to your customers. If you're an existing customer, I encourage you guys to reach out to the customer success team. If you're a prospect, let's continue that conversation. And we have, we're making big investments and continuing to make big investments in the product and provide the functionality that our customers want. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.